In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a watercolor painting of a camel in the sunrise desert. If you're already a member of the Enjoying Art community, please plan to join us every Friday. We have 2 painting sections together. And this YouTube channel is all about how to paint and draw with relaxation. If this is the first time here, please subscribe and turn on notification. First, we're going to define the top of the hill would be over here. I'm going to draw the hill like this. And also maybe a little bit the warm color over here. Just one thing at a time. The second thing I'm going to define is the position of the camel. So I'm going to take a look over here, the back of the camel, right over here, the front. I think the head, it will be over here, like that. From the head to the back, it's about 1/3, and that's the neck, okay, about like this location. And there's the leg of the camel coming over here. There's another leg over here. The belly is about a little bit like a 2/5 from the top. So that's the location. Okay, like that. So that's the camel. And then the person would be standing right here. So that's easy. So that's the person. I'm going to start painting from the sun. The sun will be right here. I'm going to painting the background, not painting the color inside the camel. I'm going to take the yellow color with this 1-inch flat brush, the circle right over there. So I'm going to painting around that area, like that. I'm going to painting around it, right there. And the color outside the camel a little bit easier, a little bit softer. Like just paint it, pretend there's nothing there. Okay, just put that color in here. Quite a bit of water. So maybe I just make the whole outside with a little bit more wet. And like this. Here you go. So now I'm going to continue with a little light orange. So I'm going to take that a little red, a very small red, just like that, and painting into the color that I just put into the paper, just the yellow color. Okay, going through it, you got to use a large brush, okay? Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to control the texture. So I'm going to add a little bit more yellow color around here, even more yellow. Just focus on one thing at a time. And this thing is pretty simple. It just make the background color interesting, okay? Your whole focus is just on the sky. So now I'm going to get a little bit more red coming in, a little bit more red. And I'm going to put over here a little bit more orange color. Now I'm mixing the color right on the paper, like this. I'm mixing the color because I have the red color, and just open up the brush, and almost like a no color is no extra wet. So what I'm doing, and what I try to smooth the color a little bit, so I have that, make sure they're connected, okay, like that. That is better. Now the top seems much better. At the edge over here, have a little bit blue color, so I'm gonna take a little bit more red color with a little bit blue. Now here you go. On the edge over here, I'm gonna have this color like this. After it dries, the color will look very interesting. I'm gonna painting the color also at the front over here. I'm gonna painting the first layer, just the red, and just like this, this color coming down. I'm gonna paint this color here first, because that would be another wash on top of this. But I'm gonna painting, just pretend there's no hill at the front, just like that. The next thing I'm gonna do is to paint the little hill on the side here. So this color is need to be darker than the background color. So I'm gonna take the yellow and the red together, but it's not really that bright. So I'm I need to have a little bit blue, so make it a little bit more like a brown. But this is the morning scene, the morning color of the hill. Okay, it's facing to the sun. So this would be the color we want. So I'm going to see it start from here, like this. And this is not totally dry. That will be fine. Like that. That I have the hill over here. So that's fine. I'm going to keep it like that. So that's pretty easy. I'm going to remove a little color. Now on this side, I'm going to start painting the gray color. So I'm going to mix the blue color into this color. That will be the color I need. And there's the Windsor blue green shade. Now having here, because this whole hill over here against the light. So it's the opposite of the warm color. So let's take a look. And we're going to do this, right? I'm going to put this right over here coming through. That's the top of the hill. And I have this merged together, they'll be fine. So I just paint this as a little bit darker color. And after it dries, I'm going to lift up a little bit. I'm going to put it right over here. Maybe coming in a little bit like that. So I have that two color merged together. Could be okay. Alright, I'm going to let it dry before I going into the next step. Okay, I'm going to start from the body of the camel. I'm going to take a lot of red because it looks like a pretty brown mixed with the blue color on the palette and get a little yellow. So that's just good enough. By making sure it's dark enough, have enough blue color. Okay. And a little bit more blue into here. Okay, now that's good enough. I'm going to start from the back over here and take a look. Okay, I'm going to have something come up over here. Like that. And then a little bit coming up over here. And a couple more shapes. Like that. Okay. Make sure you have enough wet in your brush because otherwise this is going to dry too quickly. I'm going to coming down over here. And here you go. I'm going to all the way coming down to the ground. Like that. Now I can come back. So you got to have a brush that's easy to control. Okay, that's good. It's pretty wet. Alright. Now I'm going to paint it around this. So I'm going to come back to the sun area. I'm going to come to the neck over here. That's good. Like that. I'm going to take a little bit more paint. Look at the body over here. The belly is about here. So pay more attention to it. Don't rush it. And I'm going to take a look at this leg over here. And there's another leg at the front over here. Now, I'm going to give it a little bit more paint. And let it stay over here. And come back to the neck a little bit later. So, now we're going to working into the blending. I'm going to first get a little bit more red color. And just into this brown color. Now I'm gonna make sure enough wet, okay, in this. It's very crucial. And here you go. I'm gonna come in a little bit orange color. Here you go. Get a little bit more yellow. A little bit more water mixed with this color. And a little by little coming in. Oh, that's good. With a little water and to see what the water is going to do for us. And get a little bit yellow. And coming in closer and closer to the sun. And you can feel the heat. And now I'm going to get a little bit more yellow. Just clean my brush. Just tap on it to get a little bit more yellow. And coming in a little bit closer and closer. So actually over here, I can have it show a little bit more of the yellow color. Have a little bit more yellow. Here you go. Like that. Now we can see I'm gonna soften this like that. That's good. So I'm gonna get a little bit more blue as more away from the sun. Have a little bit darker. I'm coming up like this. Okay, coming up this way. And I'm gonna blend in a little bit blue color a little bit later. So the ear, the top of the head, like that. And this is, I believe this is the head over here. And a little bit shape underneath. That's good. And I see a little ear. Wow, this is good. Now I'm gonna add a little bit blue color. Just drop the blue color into this wet area in the head. So a little bit darker, appear to be darker right at the front over here. That's good. Like that. That's good. So far, the texture worked out pretty good the way we want it. This is the highlight of the painting. Okay, that's a little bit more blue. I just drop it in here. That's good. Like that. And let the wet doing the some work for us. So on the top over here, I'm gonna add a little bit texture and showing that as it's still wet, so it's just good. Now I'm gonna take this color and continue working downward to the lake. So I'm gonna take a look on this one and coming down, look at the brush like that, coming a little bit bigger. Now I'm gonna reshape my brush, get a little bit smaller. Take a look at that look first. And a little bit smaller coming down and a little bit bigger at the bottom. Good, that's very successful. And I'm gonna fill in a little color over here. I think this is a little bit wider. Open that up a little bit like that. So I'm gonna looking at this leg and like this. And coming in here to the knee and open up a little bit and then get a little bit smaller again. And here you go. And now seeing the leg at the bottom. Okay. Now also on this side, like that too. I would a little bit like a blue-gray color. That's good enough. So I'm going to take a look at the shape, the whole shape. The person is much smaller than the camel. So take a look at the head right over here and coming down. And I can paint the whole body. And coming down over here, take a look at the dress. Is look like over here. Here you go. Okay, that's good. Now the leg. One leg and the other legs like over here. Now I'm gonna have a little bit darker color for the dress. Okay, I'm gonna have the blue and the red color together. Okay, make it a little bit darker. Now I'm gonna take a look at the shoulder. Okay, be a little careful. You don't want to make it too big or too fat. Okay, that's good. The shoulder on this side coming out a little bit. And that's good. And the leg over here. Like that. That's good. And I'm gonna have a little bit for the face. Just tap on it. That's good enough for now. We can come back for a little bit more details a little bit later. Now I think it's a good time to put another layer on the hue over here to define it a little bit more. I already have these colors. Why don't I just use this color, add a little blue to it, and that's good enough. Now I'm going to reshape it. Okay, here you go. Okay, wonderful. I see you next time. Okay, continue over here and take a look at the edge that you want to keep like this. That's good. So we reshape it. If you want a little bit more definition, separation, that would be easy to do like this. Okay. So we'll come back to the leg of the man. I'm gonna take the red and the blue color. I'm gonna have it connect to here. That's good. Now it's get a little bit drier up here, so I can put a little bit darker color like that. Okay, that's good. And that will be fine. I think there's enough suggestions for that. Okay, what I'm gonna do while we're waiting the hue to dry, I'm gonna use the flat brush to start lifting. So make sure that you know the sun over here. So the sun ray always directly coming from the sun. And I'm gonna do this one. And a little bit coming directly coming the direction of the sun. That's good. Well, maybe too strong, but we're gonna see. And on this one, I'm gonna use a little bit more like 1/3 of my brush coming from here. I'm gonna do the one on this side first. Coming from here, here you go. Now like this. See that? Now it's a very good suggestions. And over here, there's the one in the middle. Always look at the perspective, like directly from the sun. Wow, that's nice sun rays. Like that, or maybe a little bit over here too. Like that, that's good. Now I'm gonna looking for the line, the thin line. Let's start for the first one from the head over here, I think from the mouth, and coming through. Take a look at the direction, coming down over here. One, and the second one, very small line. What I would like to do is add a little footprint and get a little blue and make a little bit darker gray. That's good. Now let's take a look, analyze it to see how the footprint look. That's good. Alright, if you fade away, that's fine. Finishing up with the tail of the camel. Coming down over here, gets smaller and smaller, and coming twist a little bit. I highly recommend this brush set. If you haven't tried it, this is the best time to get it from enjoyingart.com. And it's also the best time to send it to your friends as your holiday gifts. Let's spread the joy of painting watercolor.